My name is Jeff Twiddale, and I am one of the principals here at BookingCenter. BookingCenter has been providing hotel and property management systems for about 24 years now. And one of our customers is the Palm Beach Hotel, what you guys know as your HOA front desk. And the solution that we've put in place for them is a way for them to basically manage the day-to-day reservations that are coming in through, right now it's almost all owner-directed bookings. Because as you know, it's not owners that are occupying their units entirely anymore. It's a whole combination of, family and friends of owners, as well as, the renters that are becoming more and more, proficient in the travel market from, Airbnb or Booking.com or whatnot. So one of the difficulties the HOA was having is having an efficient way for the owners to manage the reservations from those family, friends, and third-party online travel sites. And so part of our solution was to set up and help them better and more efficiently work with your group, which are the owners here. So you guys can enter your own reservations, make modifications to them as necessary, and stay in communication a little bit more efficiently than the way that was happening before with phone calls and emails and cards and all that good stuff. So today, what I wanted to take this group through was how best basically manage your reservations process with the front desk there at the Palm Beach Hotel. We call it the Owner Connect program. And it ties in seamlessly to the system that they're using every day to check people in and check people out. Now, we're going to discuss the very rudimentary parts of this process, because this is their biggest pain point down there at the Palm Beach Hotel, working with the owners efficiently on these reservations. There's some other value and benefits that we're going to talk about on a webinar 2 weeks from now, which, I'll remind you at the end of this one, and we'll send you out some emails. And that would allow you as owners to not just communicate your reservations to the front desk, but also have a way to manage your rates and availability in your unit or units and sell those through the big travel channels around the world, whether it's travel, agents or Airbnb or Expedia or Booking.com or whatnot. But that's kind of a paid program, whereas the one that we're going to be dealing with today, this is a free program that's already been bought and paid for by your HOA. And we are going to use this introduction today to hopefully train you and support you on how you can input your reservations for the HOA staff so they know when your friends, family, and guests are coming. And the first thing I'm going to introduce you to, and I should tell you that you're going to get an email from Karen at the, she kind of runs the FSR Connect side of your business, that's going to deliver to you guys all your own ID and password and this website that you're going to go to. The website is called owners.bookingcenter.com. Okay, it's a pretty simple one. So you'll have that URL. You can bookmark that. And everybody's going to get an owner ID and a password. And it's going to be distinct to each of you. And some of you own only one unit, and some of you own multiple units. So it doesn't matter whether that's the case. When you log in to this particular website, the idea is that you're going to see the reservations that you have on file, reservations that have been booked for your unit. Obviously, if it's only one unit, you're only seeing the reservations for that one unit. If you have 3 units, you would see the reservations for all 3 units. And when you log into this little area, it's pretty simple. It's meant to be very simple, not complicated. You're going to see whatever has happened in the last 7 days first. You're going to notice that when we log in, we go right to this area called Bookings, and it defaults to any reservations made in the last 7 days. Okay? And of course, you can click on one of those reservations, and you can get to what we call the booking detail page. The booking detail page is where you have information about, whatever you call your property and, what time and date the reservation was made, and if there's any financial information. And I can tell you, for the people on this call, it's my assumption that everybody's rates will always be 0. The front desk is not dealing with your money. They don't care whether you sold your unit for $3,000 a night or you gave it away to your sister for $0. It's all going to be zero for this phone call. If we go into the webinar in a couple of weeks where you're actually selling it, say like Airbnb or Booking.com, those rates are more important. That's got some financial money associated with it. We'll deal with that discussion in the follow-up webinar 2 weeks from now. But right now, when you go to a booking, you'll just see, who the guest, well, actually not you, because you don't care as much about this usually as the front desk does. The front desk cares to know who is the booking for, how do they contact that guest if they needed to, how many adults, children, and infants are due to arrive, what date are they arriving, arrival date, what date are they departing. That's the basic information the front desk needs in order to get, the key fobs and the access set up for those guests to get into your unit that's been booked. Now, if you need to edit the booking, right, when you're viewing one of these bookings here, right, and of course I'm looking at just the last 7 days, and this is just my demo, okay, so obviously this will be pertaining to your own reservations. If you need to edit the booking, you just click Edit Booking, right, and the things that you can edit on this are the notes and the amount of adults, children, and infants. These are the things that the HOA cares about. Who is coming, how many guests are part of that party, and then anything that you want to tell them. You can tell them, about parking issues. You can tell them about disability, related things around, somebody who's coming in. You can tell them about pets that you're allowing, whatever your comments that you want to communicate from your reservation to the front desk. This would be the place to make those comments, right? And there's no, I mean, you can't write a book, but you can certainly produce a lot of information here on this comment. And all you have to do is, after you've done that, click Save. Every time that you're viewing or editing your booking and you click Save, the front desk of the HOA immediately sees that same information. So if they have some comments, they can make some comments. And if you have comments, you can make some comments. They probably won't be changing adult, children, and infant very often. This is your reservation. These are your people that you're allowing access to your units. So that's usually done by you. But that's how you can get everything ready for them. Now, the question is, that's natural at this point is, well, how do I actually get my reservations in the system? And that's where I'm going to go back to these other little tabs here. But right now, I'm going to go to this tab over here that we call the Book Now tab. And this is where you will make a booking, or your friends will make their booking, or your family members will make their booking, whoever you want to give access to a very simple URL, right? Anybody can make a booking. But what they're doing by making this booking, by giving them this URL, or by you clicking this link, they're making a booking into your units. And so it's a very simple booking engine. We're not trying to compete with Booking.com or Expedia and how cute it looks. It's supposed to be very fast and efficient. We're looking at it right now on a computer desktop, but the same thing will work just the same on a smartphone. So whether you're on an iPhone or an Android or a tablet, anybody can book anywhere. So you can see over here that this particular property has 3 of these different rooms right here, okay? And there's a little calendar that comes and can show availability of that. If you only have your one unit, then there's only gonna be one calendar. If you have 2, 3, or 4 units, you'll see their names down here in this drop-down list. And people can see what's available. If it's red, it's booked. If it's white, it's available. Very simple. So if somebody wanted to come in, say, for the 29th, they can click the 29th, and that sets the date here. If they wanted to stay for, say, 4 nights, and they want to bring in 2 adults and 1 child, they would put that information here. They would check availability, and like this property has 3 units that it's representing. Like I said, you will have 1, 2, or 3, depending upon your thing. And then your guests will choose how many. Do they want just, for you, it's almost always going to be 1 unit per room of type of yours. And then how many guests they want to put in there. If they want to put in 2 guests and a kid and an infant, they can do that. And then so they've chosen one of their rooms here, and for you guys, this will often be 1. And then down here is where we have made this into what we call a wholesale interface, where you are making a booking on behalf of someone else. There are times, of course, where you may want to make your own booking. You own the unit. You might want to book it and let them know you're coming. I think I think according to your policies, that's fine. But when you come, I don't think you need an advance notice for your use of your facility. It's when somebody else comes that you care about. So when we say guest email here, this would be the email of the guest that you're making the reservation for. And you don't have to have it, but it's the right thing to have if possible, because this means the HOA and the guest can stay in communication if they need to, or you and the guest can. And then we call this the booking person email. This is basically you. Whoever is logged in right now making a reservation, you would put your email here. So we know who you're making the booking for, which is the guest, and we know who's making the booking. And so my name, as I said earlier, was Jeff Twiddale. So my name is Jeff Twiddale. My email is this, and I'm going to make a reservation for my Gmail person, right? And when I click continue, it summarizes a little bit about what we're booking. Of course, for you guys on this call, yours are all going to be $0 rates. Financial stuff is not going to be held here at all. We will get into rates in 2 weeks from now if you guys want to actually sell reservations. But for just managing booking information, yours will all be zeros. But here's where you can put in the information about the traveler details. So this is where the front desk can get the complete information. They want to know at least, where we have these little asterisks, they want to know at least, the first name, right? And the last name. And of course, I've got autofill on my computer, and the phone number. That's a requirement here. So I'm going to put that in. And and of course, I got that one right. They want my address. They want my city. They want my state. They want my postal code here. And they even want the country. And we already know who the person is. This is the booking person. This is me making the reservation. This is usually going to be you as an owner, or perhaps whoever you assign to make reservations on your behalf, like your kids or your brother or sister or something. Here's your email once again, and then here's where you could make notes. I could say like late arrival after 10 p.m., something like that. Now, this particular property is set up to have some additional things they could order and offer. This is part of what we could do for you guys here. But usually you're just going to be making reservations. You're not going to be adding any additional features to the booking. You're just going to be saying, on the 29th, Tuesday 29th until Saturday the 2nd, I'm making a reservation for this person. I put a little note right here. I click continue, and we summarize the whole reservation here. Once again, you guys are going to all be zeros, so don't worry about the numbers right now. But this is just a little summary of the whole reservation. Here's where you can, so the person who's booking this this is going to be the name of your unit. So if your unit, if you're Martin O'Malley, unit 112, it's going to say Martin O'Malley here. Okay, and that's your company or your agent. If you want the guest to receive a copy of this summary, this is a confirmation, a booking confirmation, then you can click this little box. If you don't want the guest to receive it, do not click that little box, right? If you want to collect some information so you can put in a credit card perhaps for this reservation in case they make damages that you want to utilize for billing purposes, or you just want to guarantee it, it wants to have some way of guaranteeing this reservation. We have an option always called owner guarantee. You're guaranteeing this reservation. Doesn't mean you're liable for anything than whatever your standard relationship is with your HOA. But this is how you could either put specific information like a Discover card in here if you wanted to. In fact, you can even connect this to a payment gateway, and this can be a real-time transaction if you're making real dollar-based reservations. But for the sake of today's call, mostly you guys are going to all use owner guarantee because all your rates are going to be zero. These are all going to be zeros for taxes, etc. And then we have this little deposit and cancellation policy, and the person is required to click it if there's any money involved. So this is, click the box to acknowledge you've read and understood the terms and conditions of your stay. You guys may have, a very basic policy, which is just the owner is making this reservation and the owner is responsible for the damages or the activity of their guests. I don't know what it's going to be yet because the hotel has not declared that to us, but it'll be pretty simple, I'm sure. So really, the only things on this confirmation page you want to do is make sure that you've got the right amount of children and infants, you've got the right arrival and departure days, You've got the right information for your guest. And if you want them to receive an email copy of this, great. Click it. If you don't, unclick it. Okay? And then when you're done, you'll click continue. And what you'll notice is that the system has generated a reservation number. Now that reservation number, immediately, I'm taking you guys now to a screen that is what the front desk is working with every day. Okay? The front desk is using this system right here. If I put that reservation number in the front desk system, the booking we just made appears right here. So this is now part of their daily process. They will know that this reservation is coming. They will know how many adults, children, and infants. They'll have your little, note right here, and that's all you have to do. That's how you manage make reservations and deliver that information to the Palm Beach Hotel Association. So all I did was log into my area and click book now. Now, if you guys wanted to for example, bookmark this link, you don't even have to log in to the area. It's an obscure, it's an obscure URL for invoking your booking in your units. You could share this URL if you wanted to. You could bookmark it. But the most common place that people usually make their bookings is by logging in. And if I click bookings, you'll see here's the new reservation we just made, the one that arrives from the 29th of October and departs on the 2nd of November. If I wanted to edit something about that, I would go here and click it, and I could say, you know what, they're bringing their dog, and it's okay with me. So now it's just giving them permission to bring a dog into the unit, right? Whereas maybe it would not have been, okay before. And so that's how you're going to both see your reservations, make your reservations, and then you can make some edits to them. Now you can search for other bookings in other time periods. Like, I can search for bookings I made in October of 2018, right? I can search for bookings that are going to arrive in March of 2019. So you can search forward and behind, right? But so for example, in any month would just list all of your reservations. That owner. But by default, you're usually dealing with the reservations that you've just recently made, or the ones that are coming, for example, in October, because we're dealing with the month of October right now. And you could include or exclude, canceled bookings. So this is how you're going to see your bookings, edit your bookings. The book now is how you're going to make bookings. This idea of commissions are not really relevant to you unless you guys decide to participate in say like Airbnb or Expedia or Booking.com. All those businesses, they have commissions. So we can calculate what the commission is going to be on the rates you're selling. But that we will get into at a different time. That's the webinar for a couple weeks from now. The My Details, as you can see, this is the owner that I'm logged into. This James Taylor Property Management Company. And this is all my personal information. This is how the this is how the PBHCA, the HOA, knows you. Now, my owner, as an owner here, I own 40 different units. So for me, I own a bunch of units in my demo property right here. You guys will either own 1, 2, 3, whatever the situation for you are. Now we have some reports that you can run. They're not planning on using our system to track neither expenses nor payments to you. The HOA uses a different system for that, but there are those reports right here that you can see them if you want to. And when you no longer need to, use the system, you can log out and you're logged out. You'll notice that it is a secure system. So when you log in, you are in an SSL session. The book now is also secure, but you can share that link with anybody, and you're not going to be putting credit card information in. It's all going to be $0 rates. And that is the core message that we wanted to get across to you, that each of you has reservations you're trying to communicate to the HOA. It's been happening through a bunch of different ways, phone calls and emails and faxes and filling out cards. And the goal of the HOA is just to make this a little bit more efficient, and so that you can communicate information about your reservations 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the next step for us is between the HOA organization, BookingCenter, to send you each out your own individual ID and password, which will link to this URL, which we will also send with that ID and password so that you can log in, see any reservations on file, modify those by editing them, and communicate any kind of notes you want to so that the HOA staff is kept apprised 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So with that summary right there, if there's anybody who has a question and you'd like me to answer it, I'm certainly happy to do so. Well, if you're still on the call, I do want to remind you that in 2 weeks from now, we will have another webinar where we take this basic information and go a little bit further to some opportunities for you to take your unit and help you sell that into all the different networks, as well as communicate that as part of the daily process there for the HOA's front desk. So I was just told here that pets are not permitted in the building, so that was a bad idea to write that as a note. My apologies, I did not know that. But we will send a summary of this call to you so that you guys can see it by video and listen to it once again. Karen and her staff will answer any questions that you have about accessing the system, making the reservations, or making edits to them. And BookingCenter is a 24/7 support system. So, you know, we'll be happy to support the Palm Beach Hotel in all its property management and owner management needs.
Jeff, I have a question. This is Marty O'Malley. Are we going to go to the Palm Beach Hotel website, and there'd be a link there where we would connect into the reservation list?
That was talked about. I don't believe it's been done, but it's pretty easy. All they have to do is, you know, whatever your owner's area is right now, they'll probably put a link to this owner's area as well. So you don't have to remember multiple things.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Has anybody else got any questions? Well, good. Well, we will send out.
I do have another question. If we're, you didn't mention VRBO, is this going to be compatible with VRBO or HomeAway?
It will be, because it's compatible with Expedia, but we have to get permission from Expedia to take. So Expedia won't work with individual properties, but you have a lot of units there at the Palm Beach Hotel. So if enough of you join, then yes, your VRBO listing and which is your HomeAway, which is also an Expedia, will be available through their whole network as well.
Okay, and so if somebody books it through, let's say, VRBO or Airbnb, that calendar would automatically interface with the calendar that the association would have right here at this site.
That is correct. So you would be given an enhanced tool that would not only make your availability easier to manage, but also your rates, your restrictions like minimum stays and closed dates, etc. So it would sync up to all the different global channels, including and most specifically the HOA. Okay, so but that right now not available with VRBO. We'd have to do a manual entry of any reservations. Good. No, it's if enough owners from the Palm Beach Hotel sign up, then it's available for VRBO as well. Right now, it'll be available for Expedia, their network, every travel agency in the world, Booking.com, Airbnb. That we can do on a one-off basis. If at least 20 units from the Palm Beach Hotel sign up, then VRBO is included as well. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. And we'll cover that in detail on the conversation on November 5th, which is the same time. It's a Tuesday, 1 p.m. EST on November 5th, and you folks will receive another invite to that. And we will, again, if you don't want to participate, we'll send out the webinar result from that conversation as well. Thank you very much. If there's any other questions, well then, I thank you for joining, and you will receive this by email, and we'll be here to support you. So I wish everybody a very good day, and I thank you for your attendance.